How's it going, folks? In this week's video we'll be looking at the mineralising tank that I used to reclaim some nutrients for the system. Also be looking at some new starts and how I'll be protecting them from insects, just behind me there if you haven't realised already. And at the end we'll have a bit of a gander at how I'm preparing the fish so they're ready for harvest in a couple of weeks' time. So to begin with, I'll give you a bit of a rough look at how the beds are going. The ginger's starting to get a little bit of dieback, even though there is some fresh growth coming on. We harvested the remaining beetroot from this bed yesterday to make room for some more starts, and you might notice we got some poles here, but I'll cover more of that in a little while. We do have some pest pressure still. We have caterpillars that are munching on the basil. They were leaving the beetroot alone for some reason, but they've decided to have a bit of a feed on them. I'll give you a bit of a quick look at Bianca's little green onion or shallot garden. I know sometimes us Aussies call them shallots, but I think most people know them as green onions. These are just little sections that Bianca planted out after using the majority of the plant up in the evening meal. A quick look at this little bed over here, which doesn't get shown much anymore. It's got some water chestnuts in there, as well as some nasturtium, which you can obviously see. And we have some remnant of the sweet potato that I harvested from the dual root zone soil pouch that was in this bed. So if you're interested in seeing that one, how that system works, you have a bit of a gander up there. And I'm actually hoping, fingers crossed, it's a bit of a jungle in there, but we might get a tuber or two from the sweet potato just growing in the clay down the bottom there. It is getting very, very thick and it's a bit hard to see in there. But when that happens, when we clean this bed out and harvest the water chestnuts and see if there's any sweet potato. Oh, and there is also, you can see up here some ginger. We do have some ginger growing in a dual root zone bag in there as well. So when it comes time to clean this bed out, once the plants start dying off in winter, yeah, I'll bring you along and give you a bit of a gander at the harvest. So I'm just thinking I'm going to let this sweet potato go for now. Yeah, you never know what we might turn up in the end. This other bed over here we'll look at in a bit greater detail later on. And this last bed over here has Grandma Ahe Amarillo chili in it. We've still got some more fresh ones on there. And we have a couple that I'm just letting dry out for seeds. A couple of green ones still coming on. I haven't seen any flowers. Actually, I just said that and I looked up, and what's up here but another flower under this leaf. So we might get some chilies through winter. I'm fairly sure though it'll die back a bit. Just quickly, you might see some signs of deficiency in the leaves here. I have a feeling we had a slight iron deficiency a couple of weeks back, but you can tell by the new growth she's looking pretty good now. And a couple of buds down there. Just quickly too, the reason you can tell it's an iron deficiency because it's on the newer leaves. If it was a magnesium deficiency, it would be on the older leaves because the plant can move magnesium around where iron is pretty much all just locked in one position. Around here we have the perennial leeks, bits and pieces of them we have been harvesting just to throw in stir fries and things like that, but I think I'm going to take the rest of them out, put them in a pouch. The Hohen Nock is doing really well. This plant here is a really good canary in the coal mine, so to speak. It shows deficiencies very, very quickly. It's actually a plant that is used a lot in Vietnamese herbal medicine as well as culinary. It's just basically a green. People also make tea from the leaves. I just pretty much will just rip it off and throw it in salads and bits and pieces like that. And around the corner here we have our aloe vera, which has just happened to throw up a flower spike over the last week or so. So that one there will be getting a bit of a trim back. I'll be taking that large section over the back there and probably some of these ones here, just to leave it just down to probably just this piece here, because they can actually take over the bed quite quickly. Now with this bed here, I'm not going to cover that just now, what we're planning out and what I've done there. I thought what I'd do is quickly give you a run through on the mineralization drum, because I've had a few people ask. Now what we have here is basically a drum, and it is full of bubbling fish waste.